Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Paramystic Christina. I am here with my co-hosts this week. I've got Glenn Boddice with me, and we are going to be doing a yearly forecast, global yearly forecast to see what we can see for 2025, kind of maybe give people some heads up. So we're going to be doing that. But first, I want to just check in and see how you doing, Glenn.
Hiya, Christina. Lovely to see you again. I've
Yeah.
survived Christmas.
Yeah,
So I'm doing really well, actually. And I'm finding that this year, can't believe it, 2025, like most of us.
I know.
It's so far, it's been a nice, gentle easing in of the year for me personally. And I kind of like it that way, to be honest. So I'm doing really well. What about yourself? How are you keeping?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. There's been a whole bunch of it just feels like because I live in the United States, everything is so chaotic around me that
Okay.
I have been not spending a whole lot of time out in the public. I've been, I've been kind of hunkering down and kind of just trying to energetically disconnect from what's going on in the world around me. So,
Okay, so you're
yeah.
you're building your reserves up in terms of your light beams.
Yes, I am. And I feel
Okay.
like this year it's going to be on many levels a pretty incredible year for some people and a not so incredible year for some other people. And I feel like that's because we really have moved into the fifth dimension and what you focus on, it's going to be like instant gratification.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. You should say that. I've heard quite a few comments from my guides relating around what you've just said there.
Yeah. I feel like more than ever before, we're going to get a really strong lesson in you get what you focus on. So,
Mm, I do feel as though balance, the scales are going to be tipped
mhm.
this year in 2025. Um, and already we're seeing it without going into depth there
Mhm.
with your side of the pond. It's
Mhm.
quite a lot of devastation that's happening. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail, but we all know what I'm talking about.
Right. Right. And it's political, but it's also environmental. I
Mm.
mean, there's a pretty good chunk of California right now that's on fire and it's moving
That's what I mean.
through.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was
and
saying.
it's moving through the area where the movie industry, the entertainment industry in the United States is known for, I guess. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's really big in Hollywood and out in that area. And so, yeah, it's really interesting that the year is starting out that way. And it's not even a judgment call. I know there are some people that are making judgment calls on it, but,
Mm.
you know, as we move to other parts of the country, and I realize acreage wise, it's a huge country. I get that. Um, but there are still people from the floods and tornadoes from a few months ago in North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, the southern states, southeastern states, where people are still living in tents because they haven't had their mess cleaned up before the
Wow,
next devastating thing happens. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
wow, bless
It's
their hearts.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And if you can, pull back judgment and look at it from the outside, it's like, wow, that one part of the world keeps getting hammered. What is going on here? But then there's other parts of the
Mm.
world where, there was just, what was it, an earthquake or something in Japan. I don't remember what that was. Pretty recently, the the Caribbean islands. There's a lot going on there
Oh, okay.
weather-wise, So I mean, there's some interesting things where the year is starting off kind of roaring,
It's
so
almost
to
if as
speak.
if Mother Earth is also going through this expansion process,
Hmm.
and it is maybe getting removing some teething troubles,
Hmm.
expressing her emotions, and it's manifesting in this way. That is one way, as a
That's
whimsical way of putting it, isn't it?
right. It is. It
But
definitely is. And
yeah.
does Mother Nature have judgment like people do? I don't think so, but
I
maybe.
would say it just is, isn't it? It just
Yeah,
is. There's a cleansing, there's an ebb, and there's a flow, and there's a motion, and there's a need to burst its banks to
right,
create growth elsewhere. So yeah, I would say there's
right.
an order, a divine order in some way.
It is. And, the thing is that land masses move, things change. If you look back at the history of the earth from Pangea all the way up to modern, there were ice ages. There were times when the poles, the north and south poles flipped. There were times when, I mean, so it's not unusual. I just kind of feel like maybe there's more of us here to witness it, if that
Mm,
makes sense.
mm, interesting.
So, just a thought that popped into my head as we were talking.
I
So,
was just thinking there as well. There was a time,
yeah.
supposedly, that the UK was actually a fully fixed part of Europe. We
Hmm.
was cemented together, if you like.
Right.
So it's a funny concept. The fact that you could walk from England to what we now know as Europe, you could just walk there.
Hmm. Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Right. Yeah. And, globally, the land masses change. Islands come and go, I mean, especially
Yeah.
like in the Pacific, or not Pacific, is it? Yeah, Pacific. I don't know. South of the equator. It seems like islands are coming and going. The smaller islands are coming and going,
Okay.
and not, overnight, but over time. You can certainly see the difference in the world maps put together by mariners, of course, back hundreds of years ago.
Mm.
So it is different, and I feel like it's part of the natural process. We're just in the way now, if that makes sense.
I would just advise everybody to grab a bag of popcorn and enjoy the show of Earth.
The show of Earth, because yeah,
Yes.
it is getting interesting, and I think my personal opinion, this is not channeling, it's my opinion. Our being here makes the show a little more interesting.
Mm.
So
There's a lot more variables, isn't there?
very,
Energetically, emotions, and
absolutely,
yes,
yeah,
adds to the mix. Of
yeah,
course, we're said to have free will,
mm-hmm,
so there's that sort of rule of free will
right,
to navigate round.
mm-hmm. And then we have 8 billion of us, so 8 billion of us all exerting our own free will.
Like a
Little,
classroom of naughty children, isn't it?
it
Almost.
sure is a very large classroom of naughty children. All right. Are you ready? I think I'm going to throw you under the bus first and let you
Oh,
take
thank you very much.
January for the global forecast.
I'll take one for the team. Okay. So,
Awesome.
just to let the viewers and the listeners know that I will be working in conjunction with my spirit guides and bringing forward the information and the visions from them and describing them to you. And also, I've got some cards that I felt compelled to bring to the party today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the pack and bring a card forward for each month I'm called to read upon as well. So, we're working with January first. So I'll tell you what I'm feeling intuitively for this month. This month is we're in flux, we're in change, we're anchoring our energy. We're putting our seatbelts on, as we've said earlier, for the greatest show on earth to unfold. However, I do feel there's going to be a magnetic shift with everybody's emotions. 1 minute, one day you'll feel up, the next day you'll feel down. And this is because we're constantly evolving, constantly changing. We're not the same version of self that we were 5 seconds ago, for example. There's something as quick as that. And I use that analogy because I do feel as though the energies are changing very rapidly to the point where whatever we're holding in our head space or our heart space, that has the potentiality to manifest very quickly. However, having said that, with this month of January, it's all about preparation. It's all about adjustment. It's all about accepting and not having that urge to control things than perhaps you did in previous Januaries leading up to this one. I feel this month is all about just acceptance, evolving, and also on a collective global scale, the events that we are seeing playing playing out in front of us, I just feel that this is a need, a cleansing, a rejuvenation in order to create a new timeline in the new dimension that we're walking in. I don't feel that the environments that have had these catastrophes happen to them would have survived on an energetic level in this new timeline that we're moving in. I'm going to turn the card over. That's just what my guides were saying, and the card is talking about. It says High Priestess, so that's to me. It's talking about the divine feminine energies. It's also talking about you taking your power back, but also having that patience. Having that patience for things to manifest and come to you rather than you going to chase them there as well. And also, interestingly enough, my attention, I'll hold the card up to the screen for the viewers there, but this priestess is wearing a veil. And that is very significant. It's talking about the energies changing, the thinning of the veil, where our frequencies are interacting with higher beings, higher vibrational beings, and that we also have the capability of hearing, seeing them, smelling them, touching them, more so now than ever. And this year is going to be a continuation of that. So that's what I feel for January.
Thank you, Glenn.
And for February, you're going to do February, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I am channeling Uroch of the Pleiadean High Council. Good evening and hello.
Good evening.
I am Uroch, a member of the Pleiadean High Council. My host, Kristina, has asked me to tell you all what I foresee and what we as a collective foresee for the planet Earth for the month of February 2025. What we are seeing going into February is a great deal of up and down energies. It will start with a collective kind of sigh of sorts. Okay, now we know what we are dealing with. It is time to move forward type of energy at the beginning of the month. And this is on a global scale. We are drawn to talk about the Middle East and Africa specifically. We are seeing a few more uproars in war and violence, but then towards the end of the month, we are seeing more peace, more agreements. We are seeing more of a live and let live type of energy coming to the Middle East and North Africa. As we move into Europe and the United Kingdom areas, we are seeing sort of a collective letting out of the breath that has been held. Now that those areas and the people who live there understand more fully what is happening on a global scale. As we see it right now, much of the humanity on Earth is holding their collective breath, waiting to see what is going to happen politically and what is going to happen societally. We are seeing more of communities not led by governments coming together. a realization that each individual is responsible for their own decisions. And this is a shift in humanity when we move from the third dimensional to the fifth dimensional. The individual collective, if that makes sense to you, it does make sense to us. But the individuals in the collective will be talking more about what is my responsibility as opposed to what am I entitled to. And this will help to create smaller communities, but smaller communities that cooperate with one another. On a global scale, we are seeing more of what used to be considered tribal energies coming together to work together. And for the most part, just ignoring what governments are trying to control, because the governmental controls worldwide have reached the pinnacle of self-serving. And so the people that not not the government leader people, but we do not like this word because none of you are common, but the common people realizing that they are actually in control of their own lives. You will see the crumbling of systems which may on the surface appear to be a negative thing, but to the core of it is a positive thing. We do hope that this transition has been helpful for you and that the transmission that we are sending makes sense to you. It is our hope. And of course, we will be back for 5 other months in this reading. But it is our hope that you all begin to understand how truly magical you are as individuals, as families, and as communities. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautifully put.
Wow.
So I'm going to move into
Yeah.
the month of March.
Excellent.
A
Thank you.
hard act to follow after that, I must say.
I'm getting
Okay.
myself back here, so go ahead.
Okay, so what I was feeling and being shown about March, I was also being told trade deals globally, something to do with trade deals, and I feel as though there's something to do with food and something to do with the supply chain being limited with food there in March. I'm seeing lots of handshakes, paperwork. I'm seeing lots of frustration with people. I'm also, though, having said all of that, that is the surface area, but I am feeling underneath that, that keep calm and carry on spirit, that divine union from the heart. And I'm feeling that overshadowing and overweighing those restrictions that I'm being shown there. So for the month of March, I do feel as though a lot of people are going to be feeling very confused, have a lot of their emotions coming up to the surface, but there's just going to be this coherence of the heart frequency that's going to keep and bind people together. I also sense that there's some sort of discord with the United States of America, and I'm hearing lots of crowds gathering and building up out of some sort of protest or just frustration. They just want their voice to be heard in this political climate in March there as well. What I am seeing is some sort of space program as well that isn't being presented to the general public, but behind the scenes, there's something actually happening with the space program that we're not at liberty to know. In terms of the United Kingdom, what I sense of March is people are going to, similar to the USA, are going to reach their boiling point with the administration of how the country is being run. And so this will also see people coming out wanting to share their views, wanting to express their opinions on social platforms more so than ever. And so that's what my guys are showing me and telling me. I'm going to look at the card that I pulled for this month. And this month is talking about prosperity. So, amongst all of that chaos that my guides were saying, we're actually going to get what we need rather than what we want out of greed. So we'll all be catered for. We'll all get what we need. Prosperity is looking within and showing that gratitude for who you are, what you have, the people around you, and also that is your ultimate form of abundance, rather than a lot of the materialistic things that we take for granted coming in from the ships overseas, trade deals and things of that nature. So we're going to kind of turn it back on ourselves and see that we are the prize. Also, a lot of sensitivity this month as well, and love will bind us all together. And what I also mean by that is there's, rather than this, I'm talking globally, this desire for how can I put it, for liaisons on an individual basis, people with people. There's going to be more of a romantic vibration in the air, you know, a purpose filled connection is going to be in the air. And this will see the dynamics of people's relationships changing because it no longer serves them on that romantic dynamic anymore. So there's a lot of shifts and changes with relationships. So that's what I feel for March of this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Glenn. All
Welcome.
right, here we go with April. So I'll be back in a few minutes.
So I'll just let the audience know that Christina's going back into trance. She's in and out of trance, and we're just waiting for the communicators to blend with Christina to come forward and deliver their message for for April, and this is globally as well. So I'm going to pass you over to the communicators.
Thank you. Hello again. I am Uroch of the Pleiadean High Council. As we look forward into the month of April on planet Earth, we see an awakening. Of course, this is spring in the northern hemisphere of your planet, and in the southern hemisphere, you will be going more into fall and winter. It is an interesting split on your planet between north and south. As we are looking into the month of April, we see more hope. We see individuals, as they have already, many of them, started to plant their food sources indoors. In some places, in many places, they will be able to start moving those plants to larger garden areas. And again, we are seeing movement towards community, a sharing of resources. It will be less and less about gathering luxurious items and more about peace, inner peace, more and more about relaxing and love for individuals. We are also seeing more natural disasters, which seems opposite of what we just said. But again, it's communities coming together, sharing resources. The earth is going through a transition as well. And as more of humanity wakes up and more of the other animal kingdoms step up and show you who they really are in terms of intelligence and ingenuity and empathy, as much of the animal kingdom has more empathy than humans do. We are seeing where these natural disasters, because of the Earth's increased energy, more people helping other people, more animals, other animals stepping up and helping other animals. We are seeing more fires, unfortunately, around the world. The focus for large fires seems to have been primarily North America, but there have been some in other places, and that we will see increasing. As spring is traditionally a wet season, it will not be so wet this year. So there will be more dry conditions. We are seeing on the political landscape more turmoil, but we are also seeing that fewer individual people care about the turmoil that is happening politically. It almost seems as if the world leaders are playing a card game and the rest of the world has just stopped caring about their card game and has just started taking care of themselves and one another. This feels like a continuation throughout the year. It will come, other things will come to a head later in the year, as we will discuss in a few moments. Thank you.
Thank you. That was
Okay.
beautiful.
All
So I'm going to
right.
move into the month of May. Excuse me. What I feel and what I've been shown for May is that there's going to be this definitive split with vibrations. I was being shown lots of people walking about in major cities there worldwide, almost in a zombie-like state. So not being present, not being familiar with what is happening around them, just like drones almost carrying out their daily duties. Also, I was being aware of some sort of energetic change that's happening globally, where previous timelines are going to be projected onto our present moment timeline. And what I was being shown is like the layers of time overlapping one another. And because the energy is changing on such a level that anybody that is very sensitive to energy will spot and witness this happening in their surroundings. And it will be quite peculiar and it will happen within a blink of an eye, but you won't be going crazy. You're not making it up. It's simply the energy changing. Also, what I was told is I heard the words lying in state, and I was shown a coffin. I wasn't shown who was in that coffin. It may be symbolic, representing the end of an era in terms of leadership of some way, shape, or form. They keep telling me and keep niggling me, my guides, about finances and the financial world. And there's going to be this going for gold type of rushing to the finish line with an agenda of going digital with currency. And there's going to be a lot of upheaval and backlash from people worldwide, because they're beginning to realize that although it's an easier form of transition, it's not going to benefit them in the long run. So there's this tussling with that being said there as well. I am getting a lot of head pressure as well. So I feel as though this is climate change, climate pressure, getting warmer. The Earth's getting warmer, and I feel as a consequence of that, for some reason, I was being shown traffic jams, and this is globally speaking, and there's some sort of either lack of distribution of oil or petroleum that's causing this panic buying with vehicles there. And I was just seeing people getting really hot, really bothered, really frustrated being in these traffic jams. I'm aware that my voice is going in and out as well. So I feel this is very symbolic of the collective there. Make your voice heard. Don't shy away. It's now time to stand center stage and make your opinions known. Now, I've pulled a card out for the month of May, and this card is actually talking about past life. And we mentioned earlier about the energies overlapping one another, where those that are sensitive will see these past timelines coming in. And it's almost as if the world is refocusing and realigning within itself as well. And that we can actually learn from our forefathers, the past there, in order to amplify our present moment conditions. Living conditions are going to be improved, and that's globally. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. There's just going to be this consciousness about people need to be safe, people need to be sheltered, and there's more sort of either focus emotionally and also financially put into that, because we all deserve a decent home to live in. Also, I do feel there will be a lot of spirit globally that will be coming up to the surface, not just to be there in vision, but also to inspire and guide us on the next run of the ladder, so to speak. Pivotal point of the ladder of 2025. So that's what I have for May.
Wow, that's a lot. That's going to be
Sorry.
really an interesting month. All right. Well, let's see what Uroch has to say about June.
Okay, again, for the benefit of the listeners, Kristina is just going into channeled state now, where she's going to, her guides and inspirers are going to bring forward the information for the month of June 2025.
Hello again.
Hello.
We would like to say that this is an interesting format to receive energy or to receive information. We are somewhat amused by the back and forth, and that both of you are doing a beautiful job of bringing forward information that people can use if they choose to prepare for the year to come. As we are looking forward into June of 2025 Earth years, we are struck by the notion that it is occurring to people that they don't need, what is the word? It is occurring to people worldwide that they are not so much in need of being governed as they are in need of organization, of, as you had mentioned, as your guides had mentioned, Glenn, the supply chain issues. People will be understanding that those products, food, fuel, and other goods as well, are readily available, and that the people will be finding ways to bring those goods forward. We do see that as the year progresses, that there will be less tolerance for authoritative abuse worldwide. We are seeing that people are coming together and standing up for one another against oppressive systems. We would like to remind you that, as great as that sounds, it often comes with conflict. So if you are ready to stand up globally and say, this is not how this is going to work, we are all valuable human beings. These people are valuable, and those people are valuable, and there are no more these and those. We are one human species. This is the rumblings of global, the rumblings of a global coming together of all people, regardless of their economic status, regardless of the color of their skin, their ethnic backgrounds, their religious beliefs. This is the rumblings. It is not the full blown, we're done with it. We are done with your authority but it is the beginning of reorganizing society in all societies. This is going to be an interesting summer for the Northern Hemisphere and an interesting winter for the Southern Hemisphere. We are, why are the words not coming? We are interested and delighted to see such a massive awakening of intention and energy on your planet. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So I'm going to move into the month of July. And what I feel for July for the Global Collective is there's just going to be this overall sense of adventure, wanting to explore, try something different, rather than assigning your vibrations to things, to possessions, to things of monetary value. It's all about experience. And there's going to be a lot of people that will be coming together both online and also in person to talk about their experiences on their adventures, discovering new truths, not only in the planetarial aspect, but also in terms of global truths, what's being kept away from us. My attention is being drawn to Australia, and I'm being told that there's something that's going to shock the globe, and it's to do with the administration, something to do with the rules and regulations of Australia that's going to come to light there as well. I'm also being, my attention's being drawn towards, I want to say, a different level of being globally. There is going to be a split, definitely, as we've said previously, but this split will also divide again, making communities come together. Almost, I would use the term going back to the 1960s, the hippie generation, where it's all about love, peace, and what can we do to serve. And there's going to be this vibration of rather than exchanging finances and wares and goods and things of that nature, there's going to be this bartering that's going to occur, and people are going to get through a hard situation by doing that. I'm also being told that the world is crying. The world is crying this month. There's going to be a lot of releasement, a lot of triggering that's going to be occurring where people are feeling a little bit down in the dumps, a little bit sad, and they can't put their finger on it why they're feeling this way. And I would say it's down to a clearing, an energy shift globally there. So with the card that I have for this month, it's talking about start delegating. So rather than taking all the pressure of the world on your shoulder, this is globally speaking, it's telling you to actually take your power back and know what you want and come together in communities, barter, ask people for help in exchange for your efforts, your energy, your expertise there as well. It's going to be more of a heart-centered month, which will see a lot of you becoming more sensitive, both on an emotional level and also on a global level. You'll have a sense of empathy for people the other side of the world, and that connection and that healing will be felt by them. So just allow that process to occur. And it's talking about transmissions as well. So I show you the card, and it's talking about, visioning, sending love, sending healing, and you'll know more that we're all connected this month. So that's what I have for this month of July.
Thank you, Glenn. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
We have a
Okay.
different vessel coming through.
Thank you.
So just one moment, please. I'm trying to make some room in my chair
Okay. So
for this large energy. The Pleiadians are very good at adjusting to my energy level, and this one is bigger. So
fantastic. So you just relax into that there, Kristina. Kristina's just allowing that blend to occur for these communicators to channel through her to deliver some information, globally speaking, for the month of August of 2025.
hello. Some of you know me as Yeshua. Some of you know me as Yahweh. Some of you know me as Jesus Christ. I am coming through to assure you that this is not the end of humanity. As much as this year, with the higher energies, the advancements that are coming in energetic understanding, I am here to assure you that all is well. Regardless of what your eyes are seeing, you are returning to your true heart, to your true humanity, to your true spirit. I understand that right now things can look a little bit difficult. This is not the first time things have been difficult on planet Earth, and you have all come through it. Understand, too, that I will be here along with Krishna and Buddha and Allah and all of the others, all of the pantheons of the old gods. We are here, and we are guiding you, and we are caring for you. Please understand this has nothing to do with religion. You may feel free to believe whatever you believe. I only ask personally that you do so with kindness and understanding. And understanding, too, that people are different from you. That doesn't make them wrong. I have no judgment. The universe has no judgment. Any judgment that you feel is coming from any of the light beings of the universe are actually coming from you. And as you fully understand and accept the responsibility for your own judgment, you can see that others are simply human like you. And being simply human also means spirit. It means that you all have spirit. It means that you are all alive in spirit. And when your bodies no longer function and you leave them behind, you are still spirit. And there is still love in the universe for everyone, whether in a physical form or not. All we know is love. And all that has been created outside of love has come from fear. Do not fear your neighbors. Do not fear those in other countries. Do not fear what can happen to you, because when you walk in love and faith and know that you are taken care of and protected, nothing can truly hurt you. We are bringing this forth because it is going to start looking in August of 2025 as though the world might be falling apart. But what's happening is the beginning of rebuilding. And not just rebuilding, but building differently, of pulling together different people with different resources to share. We are not talking about going back to a time when there is no technology. We are not talking about going back to a time when there is no easy transportation. All of those things will continue. A lot of that will be worked out in July, in June, in May, even in April. But you will notice a very large shift coming into August and even into September of how the world is becoming easier because you're allowing it to become easier. Know that you are loved and that you are valued, and so are all of the other people on the planet. Peace be with you.
Thank you. That was absolutely incredibly beautifully put. So I'm going to move into the month of September. And what I feel this month is going to be a month of innovations, and there's going to be some very bright individuals, some very ingenious ideas coming up to the surface to make our lives a lot easier. I do feel as though some of these technologies are going to be labor saving. There's a technology that is in connection with electricity and water. Both of those technologies will be put out into the world there. I do feel as though it is limited to begin with, but then it will be accessible over the course of time, maybe 2 to 3 years, to the global community. However, some of these innovations are going to trigger other people to invent something that is more, I would say, heart-centered and that will be more affordable for the general population. I've also got to say that within this month of September, there's going to be the realization of time for change. It's now or never. And it's time just to live in your own vibration and live your truth. This month will also see a lot of you changing jobs or careers because you're finding that it no longer matches that vibration that emanates from your heart. It's not serving you the way that it is supposed to. Your work, your career is meant to feel effortlessly beautiful to you because you are the gift to the world through the vice of the work that you do. So a lot of you will be changing jobs and careers. In terms of globally, I feel that there is going to be a changing of the guard, so to speak. Authoritarians, I feel the heavy energy of their principles are being diluted and washed out of the global playing field. This will see also a form of technology, AI, if you will, slowly creeping its way in to make some sort of equal opportunity for globalization of, I want to use the word power and appreciation as well. It's going to be used more economically than it's been promoted to us before. So I'm going to look at the card that we pulled out, and we've got golden opportunity on the card. So I do feel that September is the start of how things are going to unfold for us. I do feel as though there's a change in energy, change in frequency. We've got to stop hiding our true selves away, and we've got to express ourselves both emotionally and also any ideas that we have, because I do feel a lot of you in September will be gifted some amazing innovations, and you need to share this because the gift is to the collective. So you have to speak up about it. Also, this card, I feel as though it's talking about not diluting your energy and being your true self, because you are the gift to the world, and it binds that beautiful energy that's going to keep the collective healing and expanding in ways beyond any of our limitation or mind circumstance that we're all perceiving at this moment in time. So that's what I have
Wow.
for September.
Sounds like September is going to be a big month. Wow. Okay. All right. So I have a different someone coming through.
Okay.
This is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be one and then another, but they work together. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll allow you to blend with that. And
Okay.
I'll just let the audience know that Christina's blending with these new communicators that are going to come forward for the month of October of 2025. So far, I hope that you're enjoying these channelings coming forward. Oh, it looks like we have the communicators with you.
Yes. Hold on one moment, please. You're going to hear a click. That is the closing of a drawer so that I have room to communicate with these people.
Okay.
Okay. Also, Glenn, I am being prompted to tell you there's no reason to be alarmed.
Okay. Thank
This
you.
is one where it looks different.
Hello,
Hello. Thank
my,
you for
my name
coming.
is Sam. I am representing the larger community of what you call Bigfoot. We have many names, but that seems to be the most common, so that is what I'm using. Please do not be alarmed. We are not hurting Kristina. She's just very small. For the month of October, this seems to be a time when more people are out looking for us. And we want you to know that it's not that we want to hide from you. We are waiting for you to evolve to a point where you do not want to hurt us. We are guardians of the planet and of the forest, and you have many names for us worldwide. We understand the increase in weather related issues across the planet. Please understand that we are here to protect the natural resources on this planet because not only do you need them, but we need them as well. I have someone here with me who would like to share with you a planetary healing for the month of October. So I will step aside and let Willow come through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Incredible. So we're now bringing forward the next communicator. Just making that initial blend with the vessel. Looks like we have the transmission that's oncoming. Again, we're talking about October of 2025.
Gobiji Nini. Hello?
Hello. Hello. Thank you for coming forward.
Willow.
Hello, Willow.
Hala kamana, gomini gobo. Hala kawu hala kamanigini, obajagaha ha, anugole la gama, ohula gabala lala, gomana ninini gabo. Apakatadala kapala, 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 kapala. Konja mamana mamama ka ahana kula ka pala kinini ko pataanda kanini ka la boda la nini ka pata ka pa kamana da kamala kimiti tupa ta tuhu la kamana nini ko pata ka panini ka bo la li ka pati ka pot ka pana la nini bo ho acha ko mana diki wacha acha ta 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 kamona la nini kunin kamana yabana nini kupala la we pray. Kapona, Kampanini, Dulala, Mo, Tadakamana, Willow, Gabichinini. Aho.
Thank you. That was absolutely incredibly beautiful. Thank you. So as Christina comes back into her physical vessel, I'm now going to bring forward information for November of 2025. And I strongly feel that in November of 2025, there is something about anchoring our energies, grounding our energies globally into Mother Earth and rediscovering who we are as individuals, and also therefore forming our communities moving forward. This month will also see a lot of people struggling, and there's going to be a lot of empathy and a lot of love to people that have maybe given wrongdoings to the general population. However, the vibration of love and humanity is far going to outweigh the misdemeanings of these individuals. But with me saying that, I do feel as though there's a sense of justice and there's a feeling of peace in that justice in November of 2025. I've also got to say there's going to be some breaks in family lineage. And what I mean by that is I feel some of the old or belief systems, those energies are going to be removed in order to make space for this new version of planet Earth to evolve and move forward. I do feel as though there's going to be a lot of space created for this to happen. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about souls leaving Mother Earth, making their transition in order to create the space for the new beings to enter in November, and again to assist with the vibration, expanding this vibration of heaven on earth. And the start of this process is going to occur in November of 2025. A lot of you will be noticing lights in the sky, anomalous shapes moving around on your physical land masses there as well. This is nothing to fear. This is our brothers and sisters, planetary brothers and sisters, stepping in and ushering us into this new vibration of the heaven on earth vibration. So I'm going to pull the card, and this is for November. It's talking about Mother Mary, the Divine Mother. It's also talking, I feel, about Mother Earth there as well, showing that level of love, respect, and ownership and connection to Mother Earth. It says on the card, expect a miracle. So I feel as though what we've all been praying for, what we've all been asking for, this harmonic resonance on the earth plane, those prayers are going to be answered by our brothers and sisters from the universe. Unseen hands are behind the scenes pulling the strings to make this planet a better place. I do feel as though it's going to be a gentle process, and I'm being given 25 years in construction, but this will be the starting point of that blueprint to be laid out. So that's what I have for November of 2025.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome.
As I was sitting here listening to you, I was advised that no one else is going to be channeling through me. I'm just going to be given messages to
Okay.
share for the
Okay.
month of December. And what I'm feeling for the month of December is that after a year of ups and downs, and it sounds like a lot of energy shifting going on this year, that December is really just going to feel more peaceful. But it's going to feel more peaceful for the people who have chosen peace. For those who have not chosen peace, it feels like it's going to be grumbling, like, oh, this was the worst year ever, and so um, really bringing back to us in January that by December, you should already know that this has been your choice. You should already know that this has been your choice to either ascend, embrace love, choose to enjoy your life, or accept that you have chosen not to do that, and that this is the consequence of your choices. And this is this year in particular is really going to be cumulatively about what are you choosing, what are the consequences of what you're choosing, positive, negative, or neutral, and what do you want to choose again for the next year, or what do you want to change for the next year. I am seeing over the year, and I think that you had alluded to this. I know I was kind of in and out of planetary energies here, but or extra planetary energies, but I am seeing a lot of people leaving the planet this year, throughout the year. And it seems like even though, I mean, there are going to be some like natural disasters where people leave in larger numbers, but a lot of it is going to feel very individual. A lot of it is going to feel very much like I keep losing this person and this person and this person, and what is going on here? Why am I being led down this path? And the truth is that everyone is choosing their own path. And those who are choosing to leave the planet are doing so primarily because they feel that they can be of higher assistance elsewhere. And also a reminder, this is just coming through too, a reminder that Earth is not the only planet in existence with life on it. And you know, obviously we're very focused on Earth, and most of us are very focused on our own lives. We tend to be pretty myopic that way, but there are other planets that are also going through transitions, and the energy that we send off and the energy that those other planets send off, regardless of where they're located, in which universe, which star system, whatever, all of these energies going out into the universe affect each other because everything is energy, and we tend to forget that as humans. But I do see the end of the year for a great deal of people being peaceful, if not melancholy. So thank you. That's what I'm seeing for December.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Very inspirational. So that's what we've brought forward for your year of 2025.
Yeah.
I'd like to personally thank a lot of the guides and the helpers behind the scenes, your communicators that came through. Can I just put this out there? I found it fascinating personally, just being in the presence of those communicators that came through you there, Kristina. And on many aspects, I was losing the point of remembering what they were saying because I was so in awe of their presence and their energy, and seeing that transformation overlay over you was jaw dropping for me personally. But I will have to watch this transmission back to retain some of their words because of that.
I will too, because I don't remember anything they said. I know my voice is a little rough.
I'm not surprised.
When Bigfoot comes through, it's
Yes.
kind of a growl. But I want to thank you for being willing to do this, first of all, and bringing forward. I know that you generally do more individual forecasting, or for a week or so, and
Yeah.
looking a year out can be somewhat daunting. I have to say I chickened out by channeling.
I would hardly say you chickened out, having heard all of that information and watched that transformation. But it's a
Right.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me on the show
Thank you.
and allowing me to participate in this manner. Thank you.
You are indeed welcome. I'm so grateful that we get to work together as often as we do, because I feel like when you and I connect and we're working together, something bigger is happening.
It,
And
yeah, it is a
and
blessing. I do feel
it
that
is.
connection to you, and
Yeah.
I'm sure our teams are like football teams, huddling in the
I'm sure
background, saying, "Right,
they are.
get her to say this, get him to say that. Let's make a
Exactly.
plan."
I think they're working together for sure. There's
Definitely.
some background collaboration going on there. But thank you. I hope that everyone has really enjoyed this transmission, basically, because this has all
Yeah,
been, you know, Glenn was channeling too, because he was still bringing through messages. He just did it a little differently than I did this time. But he also does trance channel, and it's a wonderful thing to watch. I have seen him do that, and it's a wonderful thing to watch. So
bless you.
hopefully we will get a chance to do it where you are trance channeling as well. So that could
I'd
be a
love to
very
do that. Yeah,
interesting show for the future. So um,
thank you.
thank you all, everyone. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, to ring the bell for notifications, and to also share this with as many people as you can share this with. Thank you. Peace be to everyone. And you have been listening to this on Zone 5 Radio.
Thank you.
Now I have to open my drawer so I can get to my mouse.
That sounds wrong.
I know, right? Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.